Hey, okay, I'm back. Thought I would do a quick another video. I just coming up thinking of ideas, things to discuss, rather than just the same old show you what I got recently. I was scrolling through my. I have everything cataloged as so many people do. Everything cataloged on Discogs. It helps me to keep things in some kind of an order. So I'm looking, and since I have, as I showed in my room tour, I've got my records in four different areas. And the reason I've split them up is because obviously no one shelf is going to hold everything. So then you have to come up with a game plan on what is what. So on the big shelf behind me, this is all, as I've mentioned before, this is all hard rock and metal. These are all my favorite hard rock and bands. And over there, I've got two more shelves on the bookshelf full, and they're all of my hard rock and metal of a Christian realm. And then over there, I've got one whole top shelf, which is all of my pop and lighter rock Christian. And then underneath that, I've got all of my pop and lighter rock and classic rock regular mainstream music. So in my Discogs, I have also got them set up the same way so that I know where they are. If I've run across a record, I'm like, where do I have that filed? So I have them categorized in folders on Discogs. So I was looking through it and I'm like, what were some of the first albums that I cataloged? Because I didn't start cataloging immediately when I was buying, but fairly close. Because I look at the stuff that's like the earliest. When you sort Discogs, you sort it by when you added it. And I look at the earliest stuff that I cataloged. And one of the albums I know I bought much later. And then I show some other albums that are things that I had in my collection since I was a kid that I never got rid of that followed me along. And they appear a little later. So I was looking back and then I got to thinking, when I first started getting back into the vinyl thing, 2017, I believe it was, I was going out and going to the used bins at different stores and buying up whatever looked good. Because obviously, a lot of the stuff that I wanted, that I knew, bands that I knew, is not the kind of stuff you find in all the used stores. However, I thought some of the stuff looks like it'd be pretty good to take a chance on if the price was right. So, blind buys. Do you do it? How often do you do it? Based on what? And what is the outcome? I don't know if this can be a thread, but if you're more than willing to jump on, it'd be great. So the question is, do you do blind buys? How do you base what do you assume is worth making it something to buy? And in the end, was it good or bad? I've talked about this a long time ago in older videos when I find these things, but so many new people to the channel that are probably not going back and watching the old videos. Some of these it'd be neat to revisit. One of them is more of a timely situation too. So, and I think it was this album. So I went to one store and I picked up this guy. He looked like a rocker, Danny Spanos or Spanos. This is just called Spanos. And so I looked at this and I thought, he looks like a rocker. He's got the long hair. He's got the cigarette. Looked like a rocker. The things that kind of drew me to it then is when I pulled it open, I looked at the back, typical, it's from the 80s, typical 80s rocker. One of the things that caught my eye, was it this one? Yeah. So, I don't know if you can see that. It's got the Pasha Records logo. Produced and arranged by Spencer Proffer for Pasha. Now that immediately caught my eye because Pasha Records is the label that Quiet Riot was on. Not a whole lot of bands were on that I remember, but they were one band that was big at the time. So then I just started looking at, whatever, Pasha Records. What else we got on here? So Danny is the singer. And you got Dana Strum on bass. Dana Strum, bass and vocals. Okay, so back in this day, this would have been 84. Would this have been around the time of the Vinnie Vincent invasion? No, this would have been Kiss. This would have been even before Slaughter and stuff. Okay, so there's one name I recognize. Then you got guest players. Blah, 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 blah. Frankie Banali. Frankie Banali plays drums on one of the songs. Now, the thing I said about this being timely as, of course, we know that Frankie just passed away a couple days ago. Was it last week or so? Pancreatic cancer. So yeah, he was the one stable, longtime member of Quiet Riot, and even though they've had member changes, he's been the one force behind that. They just put a new album out like last year. Anyway, so he's gone now. So it made me, when I thought of this, I thought this is, that's the one of the main reasons I bought it, was because Frankie was in there. I'm like, okay, it's on the same label type thing, which on Epic Records too, but Posture Records, Quiet Riot, Frankie, Quiet Riot, Dana Strum. So I took a chance. Hit or miss. Was it a bomb? It's just kind of mainstream rock. So it does have a good rock edge. But it's radio rock. So not horrible. Not edgy enough maybe. But it really wasn't a bad buy. Now, at the same time, they had, the only reason I bought the second one by him, this one's actually more of a Danny Spanos solo. The only reason I bought this is because they were both there at the same time. And I thought I bought one, I bought the other. Carmen's on here, Frankie Banali's on here, Rick Derringer's on guitar. So I guess, yeah, I did see some of this. Okay. And it's an EP. It's got 5 songs. Though it's weird because there is a full version with the same title. I somehow got the EP. But okay, so I saw that too. Frankie's on that too. So I grabbed both of them. They're both, they're decent. They're good. I'm kind of wondering, it seems like he had the chops. He could have been a big star. I don't know why not. I mean, it's not metal, but it's commercial friendly hard rock. So I don't know. And I don't know what he did after that. I didn't look any further up. So anyway, those were blind buys based solely on members in the band. This next one, likewise, a blind buy in the $3 bin, solely based on a name that caught my eye. You got Marcus James, Green Eyes. The album cover alone caught my eye. It's kind of a green and pink. It just stands out. I'm flipping. This stands out. I don't even know if this light in here does it justice. Hot pink, neon green. The guy's got long hair. It looked like, take a look at it. Grab my attention. So I checked it out. Again, it was in the $3 bin. Why not? The back is a little more easy to read here. And I start looking on here. Again, I look for members because a lot of times you might find an album that has members of a band that you love that you didn't realize they played in before that. And as I'm reading this, I'm catching down here in the bottom when it lists different members on every song has like a bunch of different players. And quite a few songs list the guitar work by Joe Satriani, if you can see that. I don't know if you can. The glare is going to be a pain. A lot of songs have Joe Satriani. I'm a big Satriani fan. Blind Buy, strictly based on the fact that the album cover caught my eye. The colors caught my eye. The guy has got long hair, and we got Joe Satriani playing multiple guitar tracks through the album. When I got it home, it's in my bin now to where I might VCLT it to somebody who might be interested. It's very nothing like Joe's ever done. It's very pop, electric drums, synth sounding with some guitar. Joe's guitar occasionally stands out as being one of the only instruments that sounds like it's a real instrument because everything else is so electronic feeling. I need to give it another spin. It has been years. This is one of the early albums I bought back when I was first just buying up everything. I should go back and listen to it again. Maybe I'll do that tonight. But I just listened to a track online, and I was like, yeah, okay. Lots of synth type stuff. Another one. This is the same store that the Danny Spanos came from. Again, the album cover caught my eye. Knew nothing about the band. Hot Blooded Rocker by Citizen Kane. Hot Blooded Rocker. Okay, that sounds cool. 4 songs. No name label. I love when you got these little smaller labels because that's where all the gems hide. It was in good condition. The guy's got the look. I mean, come on. They got the look. That is a classic rock band, and it doesn't have a year anywhere on it. I could not find a year anywhere on it. I think I have since determined that it was I believe in the early 80s, 80, 81, maybe late 70s. But so a lot of times I would judge it by the band. Now the band, to me, they look like they're more than classic rockers. I need to get that glare off of there. The hairstyle doesn't look like they're southern rockers so much as it does borderline hard rocking guys. I don't know. Am I a hair judge? Who knows? The guy with the mustache, obviously, it's classic rock. That's just the thing. They have some mustaches in there. When you look at the inner sleeve, there's a lot of live pictures. Definitely, they have a classic rock feel, look, I should say, not feel. They look like they would have a classic rock feel. So yeah, made the jump, bought it, and it's not bad. This is actually, it's not bad. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's not bad. It's probably an album that if somebody said, oh, I really would love to have that album, you know, I would probably not be too hesitant to pass on if somebody really wanted to enjoy it. But it's not one that I would probably just throw away. Wouldn't throw anything away, but I mean throw away like, you know, just give it to somebody or give it to Goodwill or something. You know, it's a decent album. It's cool stuff. I wonder, I didn't look up to see what else they've done, but you know, and then it says, of course, 4-cut mini LP, and I guess they had a video for that, and I looked that up. And then here's another one from a different store. I think I might have saw somebody else show this. I knew nothing about the band at all. Bronze, Taken by Storm. Again, the early days when I was buying records. I saw this. The inner sleeve has some cool bands on it. You got Motorhead. I don't know if that is the original inner sleeve, but if it was, you got Motorhead all over it. And this band, to me, there you go. That is the epitome of the 80s Def Leppard-ish type bands. This is 1984, right up my alley. Everything about this, from the cover art to the band picture, everything said "Buy Me," and it's not a horror. And look, it's even a promo. What is that? It's a gold stamp promo. And I do believe I might have saw somebody, might have seen it in somebody else's video. Maybe that's why it also caught my eye. But I grabbed it, and it's pretty good. It's a little more commercial than what it looks like. To me, these guys look like they should be a little more edgy. I used to have one of those red spandex striped shirts back in the 80s. They've got the 80s look. They got the snake skin, the leopards. They got all the animals covered there. They got all the animal covered in all their shirts. They got the bandanas. They got the hair. To me, they look like they should be a little more edgy. It's just kind of more of a commercial rock. But it's not horrible. I'm going to have to pull that out and listen to it again. Again, those were albums that I bought way back when I first started buying records. I just realized, and I thought about doing a contest, but I just realized August 22nd, last week, was my 2-year anniversary in the VC. And I thought maybe I should do a contest, but I didn't. Anyway, 2 years ago, I started doing videos. I mentioned in one of my recent videos that the first video I did was a contest video for Ron Haggerty. And then it just rolled off from there. I started doing videos. So 2 years ago, I've been here. Anyway, that's all for now. I'm going to go back through my collection, see if I can find anything else like that that can bring back memories and share with you if you want to see them or not. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Rock on.